Hello, how are you? I am Jennifer Kirk. I'm an independent Stepping Up demonstrator from Guelph, Ontario, and that is in Canada. And welcome to our March 2024 Global Night Angels video hop. So we're a bunch of demonstrators from around the world, and we get together once a month and we do a video hop. And this month's theme is masculine. So I don't know about you, but I always have difficulty getting that masculine card or I don't have a lot of them in my stash that if I need one on a whim that I have one available. So we're going to do a masculine card tonight and or today, and I hope you enjoy. All right, so I'll turn you down over to my hands. Bye for now.
So this is the card that we're going to make. So it's not your typical card. It does fit into an envelope. You will definitely need extra postage on that though. It is not a flat one by any means. So I'll just show you how it does crunch down. So it crunches like this, and then it goes into an envelope just like that. Okay, so you do need to be cognizant when you're stuffing your layers here. I have an envelope beside me while I'm doing it, and you'll see that. And we just constantly test it before we glue it in. So we're gonna attempt this card. Isn't this sweet? Love it. All right, so let me put this off to the side. The first thing we need is our piece of cardstock. Okay, and we need a piece that is 7 by 9. So and you do want to make sure, you want to start off right. So you do want to be careful that your measurements are right, spot on. Okay, so that's 7 by 9. Okay, so I'm just lining that up to 9, and I'll give that a little trim. Okay, so here's our 7 by 9. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to score this. Okay, so I'm going to lay it this way, and we're going to score. So we're going to start, we're going to do 1.5. Okay, so score it 1.5. We're going to score it 3. I'm just doing it a couple times so that it gets in here. 3 3/4, 5 1/4, 6, 7.5, and 8 1/4. Okay, so I'll repeat those. So we want 1/2, 3, 3 3/4, 5 1/4, 6, 7.5, and 8 1/4. Okay, and then on the side with the 1.5 and the 3.5, we're going to do a little cut. So we're going to line this up at the 7/8 mark. So that's right here. Okay, and then we're going to cut between the 1.5 and the 3 score line. So I'm just going to line it up there, and I'm going to cut up to that score line. Okay, so between the 2 score lines, and then I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to line it up to 7/8 again, and I'm going to cut between the 1.5 and 3 inch score line. Okay, so we end up with this. Okay, everyone with me so far? And then what we're going to do is we're going to cut this in half. We need both sides of these to do one card. So this is 7, so I'm going to line it up at 3.5, and I'm going to cut it in half. You know what? I've already messed up. This one is good. I need to put another one here. This is going to be a fun card. All right, so let's stick this in here. And so again, I'm lining that up at 7/8. Okay, and we will do the same thing here. We're going to line this up at 7/8 and score between the 1.5 and the 3. Okay, so we have 2 pieces, all the same. Now this is the fun part. How many times am I going to do this video? Let's have some guesses. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to make this piece look like this piece. Okay, can you guys see that? So there's Rachel has done this beautifully in her video. So her video was around Valentine's Day. So I'm not going to pretend to be anywhere as competent at this card as she is. So if I confuse you, I apologize. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do, so step number 1 is we are going to cut from along this top up to our cut line. Okay, so we're going to cut. So if I'm putting this like this, I am going to cut along here and along here to that score line. Okay, so that's step number 1. Step number 1. And you do want a big pair of scissors. Okay, I'll see if I can find mine. Step number 2 is, and I do recommend, it's just easier to get a big cut, bigger scissors. So step number 2 is we're going to cut from this corner up to this cut line right here. Okay, so just straight up like this. You can draw a line if you want. I'm just going to eyeball it and hope. Okay, that's garbage. And we're going to do the same thing here up to there. Okay, so that's step number 2. Oh, my video is not doing very well. Don't know why. I had video problems last time, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, so number 3 is we want to go to this line right here, and we want to fold it up. So let's fold that up. Okay. Step number 4 is cut. I'm trying to figure out what step number 4 is. Oh, step number 4. We want to cut to this score line here. So I don't know if you guys can see that. Okay, we have a score line right here. We want to cut from here to the score line on both sides. Okay, let me just make sure that that is step number 4. Cut. Yes. Okay, so number 4 is into here. Actually, let me just double check. Cut when folded. Yeah. Okay. Don't want to mess up. There's so many steps on this. There's 10 steps. Okay. So that's step number 4. Step number 5 is we want to cut from, okay, number 4 is cut into here. Okay, so just let me double check what we're doing here. Okay, so this one, we want to cut from up here down to here. Okay, so where we made that cut mark, we want to cut that. So again, I'm going to use my big scissors. Okay, we're going to cut down to there. And we're going to do the same. Okay, that's step number 5. Step number 6, we want to fold on the score line that is right above where we just cut. Okay, so we're going to fold that over. That's step number 6. Step number 7, we want to bring this one up and fold that there. Okay, so you see what I've done? I was holding it this way. So I folded here, and then I took my bottom one and I folded it up. Okay, and what we're doing now is we are cutting this part up here, and this is our step number 8. Okay, so I folded this down, I folded this up, okay, and now we're going to cut off these little top parts there. Okay, these parts right up here that you probably can't see very well. Okay, so we're just going to give those a haircut. Chop and chop. Okay, get rid of those. So that was step 8. Step 9 is we want to fold along this one here now. Okay, so that's 9. And then we want to, what do we want to do? Okay, we're working on this part right here now because everything else is a-okay. So we want to work on this part. Okay, so we're going to fold here, and we are going to, am I going to cut that? Let me see. Fold there. And then cut to the corners. Okay, I think, let's hope. Oh well, if not, we just do it again. Okay, so we have one little piece left that we need to do. Am I just about right? So we just need these little triangles off here. So we're going to fold it over here, and we're going to cut from this score line to here. Okay, and this score line, I'll get my scissors in here, to here. All right, I think it's right. Yay, it looks the same. Woohoo. Okay, one down. Now we have to do the same thing on this one. So in case you missed what I did the first time, let's try this again. So we're going to, step number 1, we're going to cut across at the top of our, along the score line where we've cut. Okay, that's step number 1. Step number 2, we're going to cut from the corner up to the score line. Now I didn't quite cut this one far enough, so it's not going to come off, but we'll cut it once we get there. Okay, you can draw this if you want. I just kind of eyeball it and hope. And if you do what I did and you didn't come down far enough when you cut this slot, then you can just either pull it or just give it a snip with your scissors, just like that. Okay, these are rubbish. Okay, so that's step number 2. Step number 3 is we are going to fold this. Okay. Step number 4 is we're going to, where this score line is, we're going to cut in to our piece of paper. Okay, so I'm just doing a little cut just like that. Okay, that's step number 4. Okay, step number 5 is we're going to cut from this line here down to where we just cut that. Okay, so I'm going to take this triangle off just like that, and this triangle off just like that. Okay. That's step number 5. Step number 6. Okay, let me get oriented here. Step number 6 is, I just did this one, so I want to fold right above it. Okay, and then this one, I want to fold up like this. So it's kind of sort of a square, and we're going to be cutting off the tops. Okay, so that is step number 8. Okay, so see, we just have this little piece here. I can hear my puppy outside. He's outside unsupervised. What's he going to be doing? Okay, so number 9. Step number 9, we're going to go to this score line here, and we're going to fold that over. Okay, and step number 10 is we're going to cut these guys off, I believe. Okay, so we're going to cut in here. I should have used a lighter cardstock so you can see the score lines. It's a little difficult. But when you do this yourself, you can see the score lines. Okay, so we just have these little guys here left to do. We just need to cut this triangle off. Okay, so I'm just going to cut it from this score line in here and this score line into here. Okay, and then we hope that we have the same as our template. Yay, we do. Awesome. Okay, so now we're going to be placing our adhesives. So I recommend tear and tape. Okay. So we need both of these pieces. Okay, so actually before I do this, I am just going to burnish all of our score lines. And you do want them to be able to bend both ways. Okay, just the card will work much better if they can bend both ways. So yeah, so you can burnish both ways if you want, but I usually just burnish the one way, but I will fold them the other way as well. Okay, where's my, oh, there we go. This one's pretty good. This one's pretty good. All right, so I do recommend tear and tape. Let's see if I can remember how to do this. All right, so this part is going to be seen. So we want to put adhesives right over in here. Okay, so that's one. Okay, and then on the same side, so this part is going to be seen at the top. So that's going to be stuck. We're going to put adhesives here. Okay, so I'm just going to put one line of adhesive right here. I'm putting it at the bottom because this is going to be where we're shoving things down. So I want to be able to have some room just to tuck things under. Okay. All right. Just one moment. I'm just checking something out here. Okay. So we have adhesives here. We have adhesives there. Okay. And then, sorry, I'm trying to figure this out as we go. Okay. That's all we need on this side. Okay. And then on this side, and we're going to do the same on both pieces, exactly the same. Okay. So on this side, we just need, if I'm looking at here, I want to have 2 pieces of adhesive here. And this one can be the whole thing. That's fine. Because this is where we're going to be gluing the 2 pieces together. Okay, and then we want adhesive. I think that's it. Is that it? Or do we want one up here? Yes, we want one. So we have this. Sorry, I'm trying to figure this out. I think that's it. I think we're good. Okay, so we're going to duplicate this on this one, and then we are ready to start putting it together. All right, so we have our adhesives down on our 2 pieces. Okay, so we have 2 pieces here, and then on the flip side, we've got a piece there, and I think a piece here. We may not need that one, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay, so what we're going to do is we have 2 strips of DSP. These are going to be showing on the top of our doohickey, okay? So we want to put these down. So I've marked on here, just so that I don't mess up, where they go. So we're going to do, we're going to glue one across here. Okay, let's just put this off to the side and we'll work on one at a time. So this is just a shy less of 3/4. Okay, you don't want it exactly 3/4 because then it'll interfere with the bend. So it's just a fraction, tiny, tiny, tiny bit less. So all we're going to do is glue it down here. Okay. And let's get out our glue. So I'm just going to put glue on here. And then I don't get glue on my paper. Oh, my puppy is barking to come in. Okay. And I'm going to line it up as close here. I don't want to waste paper as I can. Okay. I'm going to flip it over and we're going to give that a trim. Okay, so that's one piece. Now we want to take this piece and we are going to flip this over, and this piece here is going to now be shown. Okay, so we're just going to glue this on here. Just like that. Oops, get it all the way to the edge there. I think my paper just moved on me, which is what the problem is. Yep. Oh, I hope I didn't cut it too much. Okay, don't do that. Don't let your paper move on you. Okay, and then we do the same thing on this side. So let's get rid of these. Okay, so up here, sorry, I was trying to cover the glare for you with this vellum, but it's kind of getting in my way. Okay, so I'm just going to put glue across here. Just like that. Don't let it move. Give it a haircut. All right, flip her over, and we're going to put glue right here. I hope I got the right sides. I should have practiced. I should have folded it to make sure I was putting my strips in the right spot, but we will see. Okay, so now we're ready to assemble our boxes. So these two pieces are going to come together just like this. Okay, and then this is going to flip under like that, and that's going to be part of our hexagon. Okay, so it's half of our hexagon. So what we want to do is we want to lay these flat just like this and push it down. So I'm going to take this off if I can find my doohickey. Ah, where's my take your pick tool? Here it is. My fingers don't work. Okay. So we're going to just do this, and we're going to just lie it flat, bring it together, and plunk it down. Okay, and give it a hold. We can burnish that. Just like this. Okay, make sure it's sticking nice and good. Okay. Then we're going to take this piece and we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to lie it down and we're going to clump it just down like this. Okay. Make sure that this is right. Yes. And then that is our hexagon. Okay. So peel off this. Lay it down. Give it a good burnish. And voila, we have half of our card. And you see why we put the adhesive just down at the bottom on this one, so that we can tuck things in here when we pop them up. Okay, so we can get some movement in there. Those are glued in now, but that's right. Okay, so let's do this one again. So we want to line these up so that these are coming in like this. Okay, so we're going to take off this one here, and we're going to line that up, and we're going to squish it down. Make sure it sticks. Okay, and then we are going to do the same thing with the bottom. So we're going to lie that down and stick it down just like that. Okay. Ta-da! Okay, so you can see that these go together like this to make our contraption. Okay, so let's put that off to the side. Now we're going to do our band. So I have a piece of paper. This is shimmer paper. I don't know if this is still current, actually. I was just looking at my papers today. So this is 1 3/4 by 11. Okay, and we are going to score this. Let me get organized here. I have stuff everywhere. We are going to score this at 1 3/4. So 1 3/4, 3 1/2, 5 1/4, 7, 8 3/4, and then 10 1/2. Okay, think that's all we need this for, so let me put that away. So I'm just going to quickly give these a burnish. Okay. Now, you see how this is going to go? This is going to go around here and just like that. Okay. So, but before we do that, we're going to decorate it. So I have 6. Oh, my dog. My goodness. He's going to have to wait a minute. I have 6 of these guys. The early espresso is 1 5/8 by 1 5/8. And then the DSP is 1 1/2 by 1 1/2. And all we're going to do is glue them in each of these 6 spots. Okay. So let's do that. Okay. Let's. All right, we are back. I had to go let my dog in. He was gonna wake up the neighborhood. So I just glued a couple in here before, so you don't have to sit here and watch me glue. All right. So now we are ready to put our card base together. So what we want to do is we want to add a little bit of adhesive onto here. Okay, so let's add some tear and tape onto that piece. I mean, this is tear and tape. I should be able to tear it, but my fingers don't work very well, so we will just use our tools. Okay. And then we also want to put some here because these 2 pieces will eventually get attached. We're not going to attach them just yet. And you'll see why, because we need to get squishy. And this piece. Oh, hold on. This piece does matter. Yes. We do. We don't want this here. Okay. So I'm not going to, I've already put that on. I'm not going to rip it off, but I'm not going to take the top tape off. We just want tape on the bottom again, because you want to be able to, squish things in. Okay. So I'm actually going to mark this so I remember not to take that off. Okay. So what we're going to do first. So we have tape here. So I'm going to show you how it goes. Okay. So we're going to put it on like this. And this is going to go like that. Okay. Super easy. But we're only going to do half at a time. So we're going to pull these off. Okay. Because we want to be able to make sure that we can squish our adhesive in to make sure it sticks. Okay. And then we want to get this sitting nice and straight and flat. Pick which is your top, which is your bottom. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to kind of, am I on the camera? We are going to, am I in the middle? 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I want this to be flat on the ground, on the table, and I want this to be flat on the table. And we're going to push this right into here. Okay. Just like that. And make sure it all fits. That's good. Okay. And then I'm going to come in with my bone folder under here and squish it all down. Okay, just like that. All right. And then what we want to do is we want to put these two pieces together, and then we're going to squish this around. Okay, attach it here and attach this on top of that. Okay, so we want, again, I'm leaving the top one here on the back on this because I want to be able to shove things down here. I don't want it adhered all the way. So I'm just going to take this one off. I shouldn't have put that one on there. I did a boo-boo. Good thing I remembered. Okay, I'm going to take both of these ones off. And I'll take that one off in a minute. I don't want to be sticking to everything. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to put these down so that it's fitting properly. Okay, and then get this so that it's fitting properly. And I'm going to bring these in and I am going to squish them together just like that. Okay, so of course my adhesive didn't stick. See, that's the problem with this, and that's why I didn't want, oh, I did stick this one down. Shoot, I didn't mean to do that. Why is this one not sticking? Okay, we are going to stick that like that. Okay, and I'm going to come in here and we'll get my adhesive to stick. Not sure what's going on. There, it's stuck. Okay, so now we can take this off. I should have left that off so I could have squished them. Fingers do not work. As you make more and more of these, you'll learn little tricks. Okay, so I don't want this down. So I'm going to squish this down just like that. Okay, and then I'm going to wrap this around on top of here. Okay, perfect. And there's our base. So remember I said that you wanted things to be able to go up, your folds to go both ways. So when we're loading, we want to kind of do this so we can separate them and stick things in. And then when you want it to go in an envelope, you want it to fold flat like this. So at this point, I come in and I just kind of burnish everything. Okay, and there we go. That's our base. So I'm just going to stick this down a little bit better. So all we have to do now is decorate. All right. Okay, so let's get decorating. All right, so we're ready to put this baby together. So I've done a lot of the work ahead of time. I'm hiding my light. I have pieces cut out, some stamping done, a little bit of coloring done. This one is the toolbox, but I wanted it to fit here. So all I did was I took the die. Let me show you. I can find, my dies are a mess. I haven't even gotten a magnet out in here yet. So all I did was I ran it through once like this, and then I ran it through a second time like this to get the size that I wanted. Okay, so you can make it whatever size you want. You can make it longer. Just don't run it all the way through, and then you can just keep extending it. So that's a cool way to use your dies. Okay, so we're gonna quickly, because I know this video is taking forever, put all these little things together. My fingers will work. Okay. So I die cut the paintbrush and painted on some Last Lagoon paint. And we'll just stick this down. I was going to do it on crumb cake. I probably should have done it on crumb cake, but okay. You get a whole bunch of glue coming out, but that's okay. We'll just put that off to the side. Okay, and then this little guy, we have a circle that can go in the middle. So how are you guys doing? This video seems like it's going forever. I'm gonna have lots of glue to clean up on this. I'm happy with my glue this morning. Okay, pick this up. And then we just want this little doohickey on here. And this little doohickey goes right here. So I'm actually just going to put some glue along here. I'm going to put up near the, that's way too much glue. It's going to goop out. I'm going to make a big mess with this. But what else is new? Me and glue. It loves me. Okay, so that's that. Now this, I'm going to put a glue dot on here. I just have my glue dots off the camera. Okay, so we've got a glue dot right in the middle. And then we're going to take our pliers and we're going to stick those together. Isn't that cute? Okay, let me bring in, I'm not going to bring in all of my glue dots, but I'll bring in a couple here. Okay, and we're going to lift up a glue dot. And I'm going to put it, I'm going to end up having to cut these because they're going to be too long to stick in. But there's one. Oh, my glue dot went flying. There it is. Never had that happen before. Okay, and then we'll lift this up and we'll stick this down. So these are going to be way too long, so I'm going to cut them, but we'll wait till we're putting our pieces together here before we do that. Okay, now the handle, I need to make it fit. Okay, so all I'm going to do is put a tiny bit of glue here and stick it here. Can you guys hear my dog snoring? Oh, to be a dog. All they do is play. Can you do one at the same size up? Play, eat, and sleep. It's definitely a dog's life. Okay, and then I'll just put a little bit of glue here. And we'll glue it down. There's our handle. Okay. Almost done. I couldn't decide which one I liked better. I think I'm going to go with the steel one. I couldn't get my stays on to stamp on it. I tried. It wasn't working for me. So we'll just do it without stamps. That's okay. And we got a hammer. All right, so the last thing that we need to do is to stamp our sentiments. So I'm going to stamp an early espresso. If I can open this. Excuse me. Okay, I need a drink of coffee. All right, stamps. Okay, so I just cut these out. These are from the postage, perennial postage. And they do fit. You just gotta be on top of it. So I'm gonna be cut that off. I think I missed. Let's try that one again. Gotta put it down a little bit. There we go. That's a bit better. See, it's a tight fit on that one. I could have done a different one, I guess. I think the thank you fits better, but there's always two sides, right? Never a mistake in stamping, always an opportunity. Okay, there we go. Good enough. All right, so now we're ready to put together. So what I like to do is I like to place them before I add any glue. Okay, so I'm going to put this right on here and this. So how we do this is I need to get the right size because it's nowhere near the right size. So I'm going to, this one gets better if you go down. I'm going to stick this in. That's as far as it'll go down. Okay. And you need an envelope for this part. And what you want to do is you want to make sure it's going to fit in your envelope. So I will do this. Okay, and then I'm going to take my snips and I am just going to snip it right between these two. Okay. And then once I do that, I'm going to double check it. Check twice. Okay. And make sure it will fit. Perfect. We're good. All right. So the middle part I can actually have up a little bit higher than the back part. Oh, I didn't poke my holes. Because the middle part goes down a little bit more, but I wanted the sentiment, this is garbage, at the back. So now I'm just going to glue this across here on the right side. Okay, leaving a little bit at the top. Straighten it up. And you could hang some tools from here too if you want. Okay, so that's that. Now it's okay, and then we can stick this part on. So we're going to stick this right here. Okay. So it's probably easier just to put the glue here. And that way you have the glue where you want it and not hanging off. Okay, so we're just going to let that sit for a second. All right, and now it's really, let's just try and stick them in. You see why we didn't want the adhesive at the top? Oh, don't do that to me. Okay, stay. I'm talking to my tools. So you notice I'm not putting any glue in here, right? I'm just, okay. We're going to want to make sure that that one will stay. You don't want to cover your sentiment. So I'm putting them kind of all on an angle so that you can still see your sentiment there. Okay. So what do you guys think? Does that work? Okay. So before we glue it in, we want to do a double check, make sure everything's going to fit. This should be good. It's equal to that. This may be good. Let's try that out. Yep. Okay, so that will work. So now we just glue it in. Okay. So I am going to, oh, don't do that, Jen. No, I forget where everything goes. Okay, I'm just going to glue this right down, just like that. Okay. And then I'm only going to put glue on one side. I don't think it matters. But I'll put glue on the back. Okay, and then when you're putting these in, you do want to make sure you don't get glue everywhere. So I am going to pop it up so I can separate it and just slide it down into the crack there. Okay, and then I got to move it over before it sets. There we go. Yay. Okay, one more. Double check to make sure I'm good for height. I am. Okay, and then we can stick our hammer in. Just like that. You don't want to glue the pieces together, okay? These ones, do I need to cut? I don't think I needed to cut them on this one. It must be a little deeper than my first one I made. Okay, and then we're just going to stick these right down like that. Okay. Paintbrush. This one's not letting me go down as far. I might have to cut that. Let's see. Is that going to go? Oh, no, we're good. We are good. Just always keep checking, okay? And you move there. That's better. That's where I want you. How's that for crazy? Talking to my tools. Okay. And there we go. What do you guys think? It's awfully blurry on the camera. Isn't that neat? So, and then to finish it off, I just took a bunch of these die cuts and just randomly threw them in the toolbox. You don't have to do this. I just thought they were cute. Just don't put them over any of the cracks, because you need the cracks to open up. This is my embellishments. All right, so again, I got this idea from Rachel Tessman. So thank you, Rachel. I love it. We'll just do another random one in here. Okay, we need one more. One more. Oops, I guess this one decided it wants to go on. Okay, I got glue everywhere. Come on, off. One more right in here. All right. So there we are. So again, my glue's a little wet, so I'm not going to squish it down tight until it dries, but you just squish it down and it sticks in an envelope, and then you put it. So you will need extra postage for this if you are mailing it, because it is super thick. It won't fit through the little machiney thingy at the post office, so you will need to get some extra postage on there. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this month's video with the theme of masculine. Please make sure that you jump on to the other Global Angels videos and take a look at what they created this month. And we'll see you next month. Bye for now.